Are Houston and Cincy ready to crash the party? Are they ready to shut people like me up? Are they ready to prove everyone in the Big 12 wrong? Because ready or not, here's the chance. It's this weekend. Houston gets Texas Tech in their building. Cincinnati gets Iowa State in their building. Here it is. These are the two best teams in the Big 12 right now. I mean, I think to a man, most people are going to agree with that statement. If you don't, I guess you say Arizona State. And to me, they would be number 3. But it looks like these are the top 2 Big 12 contenders. Cincy and Houston have been lurking and thinking, hey, we deserve more respect. Now's your opportunity to really go earn it. Okay. That to me is what this weekend is about. Like, it feels like we have the tier of Big 12 contenders kind of figured out. Like I said, I would go Texas Tech, Iowa State, Arizona State, 1, 2, 3. You want to throw Utah and TCU in there. I'm still good with them being in being labeled as contenders right now. And then like BYU flirting with it. Need to see a little bit more, but flirting with it. And the question then is, can Cincinnati at 3-1, but with a great win at Kansas, and or Houston at 4-0, but doing it by the skin of their teeth at winless Oregon State last week, can they actually jump into that group and get serious consideration for it? You got to go win, or I guess play very, very, a knockdown, drag out sort of a game here. But really, you got to win this. If you're going to be the underdog, you got to go win by TKO, man. You got to go knock out the champ, so to speak here. The champ being Iowa State, who played for a Big 12 title last year, and Texas Tech definitely looks and is paid like the best team in the Big 12. Now, as far as what the outside world thinks of this game, I mean, if you're looking at statistical models, if you're looking at Vegas, these games, much better shot. Everybody giving Cincinnati to beat Iowa State. Cincinnati, in fact, is a 1.5 point favorite right now. If you're going to bet this game, I saw, I think S&P Plus from Bill Connolly at ESPN, which I really like. His computer formula had it like a 3-point game in favor of Iowa State. So it was still close, but did give the lean to the Cyclones. I mean, I'll be honest. Look, if you pin it on a bulletin board, throw it in a video, whatever you need to do, Cincinnati and Houston, I would still be pretty stunned if Cincinnati beat Iowa State. And I would be pretty stunned I would be pretty stunned if Cincinnati beat Iowa State. Okay, full stop. I would be absolutely shocked if Houston beat Texas Tech. I would be shocked. Put it on a bulletin board somewhere, and that's fine. It's not anything personal. You guys know that I love Willie Fritz. Scott Satterfield, I gave a big apology to this last week because, I did not think they at all had that in them to go do it at Kansas. And they did actually impress me a decent amount against Nebraska earlier this year. And that's a guy that I just totally written off. But I think it's a different deal to be playing Iowa State and Texas Tech. Now, there are some things to take advantage of here, okay? If you're Cincinnati, you'd be looking at the news today that Iowa State this week that Iowa State lost its other starting corner for the year. Jontez Williams is now out for the year. So Iowa State has lost both starting corners to ACL injuries this year, which is terrible. And I hate that for them. But what's the big strength? What's the big strength of Cincinnati? It's throwing it all over the yard, man. Brendan Sorsby was just throwing it up and down the field all Saturday in Lawrence. Weird, because, again, I watched him throw for less than 100 passing yards against Nebraska. But if your defense has got some holes, like Sorsby can definitely take advantage of that. I'm sure Nippert is going to be rocking. I'm sure it's going to be cranked up. That's a place that, desperately wants to get back to where it was during the Luke Fickell era, when it was a very tough place to play. So I get it. Like, I understand it. But I still, it's like Rocco Beck makes the plays when he needs to all the time. Iowa State's got some fringe championship pedigree by getting to the Big 12 championship game last year. A lot of good veteran experienced pieces still on that team. The Houston Texas Tech game, it is more. Baron Morton's going to play, okay, first and foremost, which you guys know my take on that. I'm not so sure that that's the best thing for Texas Tech long term, but I do actually think in a game like this, like against Houston, that's Well, I mean, Houston does have a pretty good defense. I think against like the elite defenses, I'd rather be rolling with Will Hammond against it than Baron Morton. But Baron Morton can definitely carve up a bad defense. Anyway, Tech just has so much talent across the board. It feels like they will overwhelm Houston. Connor Wegman has been a nice comeback story this year. It's been really nice to, just from a personal level to see his career rejuvenated this year. And I think Houston is so much better at quarterback this year than they were last year. It's the reason they won the game at Oregon State. There's no way that Donovan Smith or Zion Chris are bringing you back the way that Connor Wigman did, just in like the snap of a finger in the fourth quarter, down by 14. But going up against that Texas Tech defense, especially that Texas Tech front, I don't know. I fear for what that will mean for Connor Wigman throughout that game. As long as Texas Tech is dialed in, I mean, that would be, I guess, the one thing I worry about if they've gotten too high on their own supply over the last 2 weeks after not playing and everybody loving them up and being close to the top 10 and all of that. It is a dangerous situation from that standpoint, but I will still be pretty shocked if that comes to fruition. But if it does, you're going to get another apology laid out. There'll be a big time Willie Fritz apology if that were to happen. And you know what? I'll just double down on the Scott Satterfield apology if they beat Iowa State as well. But you guys are correct. I see people in the chat talking about, hey, the injuries being why they're favored. Understood. That's definitely a tough blow for Iowa State there, and they're going up against a really good passing offense. Outside of that in the league, it's like, man, teams just decimated with injuries and guys leaving. West Virginia's losing Nico, shutting it down for the season, apparently entering the transfer portal. Sucks, man. That sucks. Thought he was really starting to come into his own in the Pitt game. Expected a medically redshirt is what Pete Nakos had reported there. And then you've got like Oklahoma State. This is another thing you'd expect to start happening. Guys there looking around at 4 games being like, hey, man, can I still take my red shirt? Demarion Thomas, the best defensive lineman for Oklahoma State, he's going to sit out the rest of the season and look to transfer. So, it's a bummer. It's the world we live in college athletics now, though. And guys looking out for their best interest, honestly, like I get it. I get why that is happening. TCU needs to get back. Must-win game for TCU against Colorado if they're still going to be a contender. You can't waste too much time there. You got to go get back on the horse and you got to go win. You're going to be at home for that. Kansas at UCF, similar type of deal. Kansas, if you're going to be the team that really has a shot to be on the fringes of competing for a Big 12 title, you want to be like an 8-9 win team, you better go win at UCF. But that is a road game. I'm sure the bounce house will be bumping. Oklahoma State, Arizona. Yeah, we'll see what Oklahoma State's able to piece together the rest of the year. Game that Arizona needs to win. Definitely a game that Arizona needs to win if they're going to go bowling this year, if you start looking at their schedule. And then K-State Baylor. I didn't mention Baylor in any of the contender talks. They're only 1-1 in the Big 12. They're not mathematically eliminated. I've just seen now a couple of tough home losses where they're just not getting over the hump. The defense still has issues. I don't trust Baylor. Love Sawyer Robertson. I don't trust Baylor. K-State, if K-State wins this, then, hey, maybe we can start talking about, hey, maybe this team is a team that could be, 7-5, finish 7-5, something like that. If not, you're probably still looking at a rough sub 500 year. West Virginia, BYU, forget about that on Friday night. You get your late night game on Friday, Big 12 after dark. I guess that's kind of where this started, right? West Virginia losing Nico. Other quarterback options look pretty rough. I'd expect BYU's defense to put the clamps down there, even if their offense has a tough time getting going. But, this could be a real opportunity to get Bear Bachmeier rolling. Get him some more confidence, continue to build on what happened against